for this amazing event. First of all, I have a bit of a sore throat, so I apologize ahead of time if there's any inconvenience with that in my colleagues. But I really need to thank a lot of people, most importantly, our audience for buying tickets and supporting our cause. Thank you so much. And of course, to the volunteers and all the Kids Help Women student community members, because they put so much effort into this night. Finally, thank you to our speakers and our performers for all the hard work that you put in. Every moment you put in was worth it, and honestly, tonight was better than I expected, and I owe it all to you. So give yourselves all a round of applause.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I suppose you all think
I'll vote for you.
My thanks. Really quickly talk about the event, discuss mental health as a general issue, while saying a few things, just a general statement. But I'm not going to waste another 9 minutes of your time. I'm going to dial all of what we've been talking about today down to me. Not that I'm a narcissist or anything, but I'm actually up here to talk to you guys about my own struggle with mental health and how I became diagnosed with the mental health illness known as clinical depression, how I found help for my illness, and even how I've used Kids Help in the past, and of course how it's all changed my life. So the incident that stands out the most occurred when I was in grade 9 and I switched from a tight-knitted, predominantly academic school to a school that was that wasn't streamlined, with a lot of mixed classes. It was totally different from anything I'd ever done. It was culture shock, basically. And that year I ended up being brutally bullied. See, there were a group of guys in my class, and they used to say things to me like, "You're a pig, you're a monster, you're disgusting, and you deserve to die. You might have good marks, but you're stupid, and you should go kill yourself because you're so disgusting. Go kill yourself." It was a daily thing, on, and I never really told anyone. Even if I asked these classmates to stop, they would reply with, "Can't you just take a joke? We're just joking around." And with that, I was left feeling quite powerless, feeling like if I told anyone what happened, I would be dismissed the exact same way. So my parents and teachers and friends never really knew about it at all. And it got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. And I literally felt like I couldn't escape from these words anymore. So one night in 2009, I ended up swallowing a large amount of painkillers, hoping it would get away from these horrible thoughts in my head that were torturing me. But the next day, I woke up, obviously in the day. I threw up, I went to school, and I lived it all over again. So eventually we moved on to high school, and I ended up at school filled with really kind people. I was well liked, even loved, and reminded of these guys often. But although I was away from that situation and those cruel people, I could still hear those words. Every time I walk into a room, every time I look into a mirror, I heard in my head that you are the ugliest person here. You have no worth, and everyone around you has way more worth than you, and you are nothing. See, but I kept telling myself that this is my problem. You have to get through this. No one wants to hear these sad thoughts. They'll only bring your family and friends down. Don't let anyone worry about you. Don't be a burden. Don't be useless. And so I continued to stay silent on the torment going on in my own head. I focused on a quote that many people had said, "This too shall pass." And it seemed to fit it. But the thing about mental illness and the pain it can inflict on a person is that it's not always a constant sickness attacking your body. It's like a bruise. Some people have bruises that you have to press on them really hard so that they'll feel pain. Some people have bruises that you can brush upon and just like that it'll hurt. And some people are in between. Depending on the person and the severity of what they've been through, anything can trigger a relapse in someone who has experienced mental health issues. It can be something as terrifying as hearing about a young girl who has killed herself after being bullied by classmates, or it can simply be looking in the mirror. At the beginning of university, I still, for lack of a better word, I hated myself. Combined with my mother being diagnosed with breast cancer and the immense pressure of first-year university, I began to feel like I had made no progress at all. Like I was the same person I was 5 years ago. I was struggling to get out of bed every morning. I was apathetic to all my schoolwork, and it felt like every moment was brushing against my bruise, and it hurt me with every touch. But for at least the sake of not doing something to myself that would hurt the ones that love me, I simply refused to allow myself to feel hopeless and worthless again. So I took a big risk, and I began to see a therapist at the mental health center at the U of A. I learned how to live in the moment and do little things that are just for me. But although I was feeling better, my therapist and I decided it would be better if I began to see a psychiatrist as well, who diagnosed me with clinical depression and prescribed me small doses of antidepressants. That helped, but after a few weeks, I still had bad nights, where I would have panic attacks. And that's when I began to feel like something was inherently wrong with me, that not even therapy and medicine can help me get better. And I began to even question why I even needed all of this. How is it possible that my emotional experiences manifested into an actual sickness? I was literally taking pills. I was literally sick because some guys in my junior high class said I was fat. I couldn't comprehend it. I was starting to feel more lost than ever. And actually, this is where Kids Help comes in, because I've been volunteering with the student committee for a few months and knew how effective the resource was. Realizing I had nothing to lose, I simply dialed the number. Honestly, I wasn't expecting such kind and uplifting people to be on the other end. It's hard to explain how helpful they were between sessions. So I will give you an example of what an amazing lady on the end of the line said to me. And I want you to listen very carefully, especially if you've identified with anything I said tonight. So she said like this. Right now, you need to accept that you've been harassed, bullied, verbally abused, and it's not your fault. It's certainly not fair that you have to deal with the consequences. You're braver than you think because you've taken this amazing step by seeking professional help with your emotions. What people don't understand is that emotions are overwhelming. They're such complex concepts and they affect us more than we realize. It's not that you're chemically imbalanced. It's not that you're insane. It's not that you're weak or useless in any way. You've simply been diagnosed with an illness, that's true. But the silver lining is there's a cure. So with this, I want you all to know that I'm not ashamed to tell you my story. I'm not ashamed to tell you that I've been hurt, and the wounds were bigger and opened longer than I expected. I'm not ashamed to tell you that I've reached out to doctors because I realized that pain was my body telling me something was wrong. And I certainly am not ashamed to tell you that I'm a better and stronger person because of it. And so I hope after hearing me speak, you will be aware that mental health isn't about being unstable or being crazy. It's about our experiences causing us pain. Don't be ashamed to talk about it. As cheesy as it is, all I want is for everyone in this room to leave this hall tonight, to talk about me, to talk about what I've said, and to realize that the possibility of lifting the silence on mental stigma are endless. Thank you.